Recorded Books and RB Digital present Pandora, Contagion by Eric L. Harry, narrated by Morgan Hallett. Chapter 1. Northern Virginia. Infection date 39, 1700 GMT, 1 p.m. local. The sound of the zipper was Emma Miller's cue. She leaned over the trucker's lap and reached into her boot for the rusty screwdriver she had found on the side of the highway. "That's a good girl," said the man, fat, ugly, and missing a front tooth, who had given Emma a ride in exchange for a promise. She looked up and attempted a smile. He sensed something was amiss. She drove the rusty screwdriver through his neck up to its handle. It sank into the voids of his mouth and sinuses with surprising ease. She extracted her crude weapon before his hands found the spurting wound. He gurgled more than screamed, bug-eyed in shock. She dried the screwdriver and her hand on his tattered cloth upholstery. The driver made animal sounds and thrashed from side to side. His gaze never left Emma, but his hands remained clutched on his neck. Emma's stomach rumbled. It was time for lunch. When the trucker finally slumped onto the steering wheel inert, she searched the filthy cab. The only thing of value was the man's wallet. Bert Walker, his driver's license read. Age 47. From the lone photo, with its shopping mall quality backdrop of lazy palm trees and thatched huts, she gleaned he was married to a similarly unattractive woman and had 2 overweight children. She took only the roughly $100 he had in cash. Emma considered trying to drive his truck, but grinding through gears would raise too many questions. She was a petite, 5'4" epidemiologist trying not to attract attention, spark calls to 911, or trigger a manhunt. She climbed down and headed back to the state highway from the secluded parking spot. Bert had made a mistake, she noted, and committed to memory. He shouldn't have performed his side of the bargain before her turn came. Contracts are tricky, Emma thought. She needed to discuss them with her brother Noah, who was a lawyer. After leaving the NIH lab hours earlier, Emma had abandoned her blue mask and gloves in the woods, but she still carried her hospital-provided white plastic bag and its toiletries by the loops of its drawstring. She knew she would have trouble passing for uninfected. Several times the trucker cast sidelong glances her way after replies that he found odd. And Emma also wasn't sure just how contagious she remained. If she left a trail of infected people along the way, someone might plot her route and zero in on her location. Plus, she would have at most 2 hours until first symptoms appeared in her wake. She had to stay ahead of any outbreak she caused and the violence that inevitably ensued. On reaching the highway, she walked down its shoulder but didn't hold out her thumb. The traffic was heavy, but not bumper to bumper like on the interstate out of D.C. Cars and trucks flew by without stopping. Did Emma appear strange and out of place? It wouldn't take much of an incongruity for someone to phone the police. Everyone would be paranoid now that the disease had broken out in Vermont. A large, older car, windows rolled down, passed slowly. A woman and her 3 kids scrutinized Emma before pulling off onto the roadside ahead. When Emma reached them, the African-American woman asked, "Did your car break down, hun?" Emma dared only a nod, not a verbal reply. "Well, hop in then," the woman said. The kids were young. She needed to worry mainly about killing their mother. Emma climbed into the front passenger seat, displacing a long-legged girl of about 10 who could probably run fast. "Where are you headed?" the girl's mother asked as they drove off. "South," Emma dared to reply. "I understand. Trying to get away?" She glanced at her children through the rearview mirror, then at Emma, who thought better of trying to smile, and nodded again. Wind rushed through the open windows. They probably wouldn't catch the virus, diluted as the air was in the sedan. Maybe Emma could avoid the hassles and slight risk of killing them all. 4 was a large number to do all.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?